All right, now joining the show, I've got on Yukon rapper Tre Breezy. Trey, what's going on, man?
Yes, sir. How's it going?
I'm doing good. Happy to get you on. You've got the new song out with JR, Red Solo Funk. Uh, it's awesome. It's great. You and JR working together was pretty awesome. What's it? Talk a little bit. What's it like working with JR? Because this isn't the first time. This is the first time you're on one of his songs. He's been on two
Right.
years in the past, so you guys have been working together. This isn't a first time thing.
Right. I'm a junior now. I met
Mhm.
JR when he was a junior living in South, for any UConn listeners out there, South um dorms. And yeah, basically I had a mutual friend. I DM'd him on Instagram. And JR is like the nicest dude in the world. So, he let me come through to the spot, come through to his dorm room, and one of the first songs he ended up making was The Motion,
Okay.
which he absolutely killed. And, that was so much fun. And yeah, just from then, it's just, finding a kid with the same passion for music, in the area. And we've been all around. We've been to, he lives in a house now off campus that he's got a little studio set up where, I recorded most of my album. And we've been to New Haven together. And, that's just my brother. And, working with him is awesome. He's one of the most talented dudes, if not the most talented kid I know. So, um,
So the first
yeah,
song you said you worked together with him was "The Motion," which is on your album, and
right,
then you decided to work with him again for that album too with "Na Na Na."
right. Yeah. So the motion was supposed to be a single for the upcoming album, but just me not really having the resources and everything, and just kind of delayed everything. So
Mhm.
when the album came around, I knew I wanted to have him again. Yeah, I just had a spot open for a verse and na na na, and he did his thing and he did the hook, and yeah, now we got a few, and definitely more coming. But yeah, Red Solo Funk was also, it was super dope to record that. We did the verse for that. Actually, that's when we went to New Haven, to my buddy's studio down there. We got some Sally's Pizza, which, if anyone
Nice.
knows, is the best pizza in the world.
Yep.
um but yeah, no, that's a little bit about, at least how I know JR. And if you asked me a year ago, I wasn't as close with him, but now he's my brother now, and we've gotten so much closer, just stemming off of music and that common interest.
Now you like we've mentioned you've been out. You were on Red Solo Funk with him. One of the things I think that's interesting was the marketing for that. That he puts out the first video is the beer pong game where the cup hit,
Right.
the cup gets removed, then the spin, and then it's you guys. You're wearing the tuxedo. He's got the
Yep.
velvet blazer on. So
Yep.
like, what was that like doing a shoot like that like? Because it looked like it was just in a basement, or like you guys might have been like even outside or something, and you're just the two of you dressed all nice and just playing beer pong.
Yeah, dude, no, that was so much fun. So yeah, that was in his house, his basement. Our buddy Wang, Eric Wang, super talented photographer, videographer. He ended up doing all the filming, all the setup. Yeah, so we pretty much just pinned sheets around his basement, got some lighting, and yeah, we've actually borrowed that red velvet jacket, as my buddy Doinks' jacket. We were looking
Okay.
through the hill. Shout out Doinks if he's listening, Mike DeLuca. But yeah, no, he was kind enough to lend us that. And I still had the tuxedo from my senior prom, so I had to bring that back out.
Nice, nice.
Um, but yeah, no, it was awesome. Just being on the set with Jr. And obviously he's done it so many times. It was my kind of first time being in a music video. So I was a little nervous and whatever, but yeah, it was really fun.
Did you like how it came out? Because I thought it was cool how the way that it came out was the where it was like different pictures getting morphed together. It wasn't like one video. Did you like that style of it?
Oh yeah, I love what they did with that. We ended up just having a ton of footage and a ton of pictures. Um, and his marketing, even like his color schemes. Anyone listening
Mhm.
should go give him a follow on Instagram, at JR Specs. And he kind of did the thing with Get You Geeked with the orange theme,
Yep.
and then this was more like the college, the red theme. Obviously Red Solo Funk. Um, yeah, no, so I thought it was super cool the way they marketed it, and just the way everything looks visually appealing. It has a theme. Yeah, so I thought that was awesome.
Now we love talking about JR, but I want to talk about your music background. You were a Notre Dame West Haven kid, correct?
For sure. Yeah, I was. Yep.
So when did music start with you? Like, did you always kind of know you were gonna do music? Like, were you ever a band or like a like a chorus kid, or did it hit maybe when you got to college, like around maybe more creative people?
Yeah, definitely started taking it more seriously in college. I made my first, what was the first song? I guess the first song I ever made was a song called First Like Lexi with
Hmm.
just my buddy, kind of just a goofy song, just in Milford, hometown, just, basement song, just having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it really just came from a place of listening to a lot of music, I think. Just, being inspired to like start singing, start making music, and I always had a knack for like melodies and um just I just love music so much. So it just kind of turned into me writing. And before I knew it, I had an album, at least written, and I really wanted to record it. And then from then on it was just kind of getting the pieces together and um yeah, obviously taking it more serious and just getting better. Late
So,
nights in the car, just freestyling, just all that. But yeah, that's a little bit about how I got
so
started.
your first album, are you talking about Late Nights and Cheap Mics?
For sure. Yep.
How long has that? Because you said like you mentioned it's kind of been like you've had it written and stuff. How long has that been in the process for you?
Dude, yeah, it's been a minute. I started writing that probably like a year ago. Maybe even I the motion I think was last April.
Okay.
It's early May now, so yeah, that was the first joint I had. Yeah, so it's really just over the past year, just thinking a lot about, how I want it to sound and like the theme and how I wanted the album cover to look and just all the little intricacies and stuff. So yeah, it's about a year.
No, I'm a huge I love like the small stuff, like the album art. I think that can kind of draw somebody's eye right to like if you're scrolling through like the Apple charts or whatever and you see a crazy album cover, you're gonna click on it. What was like the idea with the album cover? Because I have it pulled up now. It's like the cars like look upside down like they're driving in the sky. What was the deal with
Mhm.
that?
First of all, I think it's so dope that like the album cover and like it just feels really cool to be on a podcast and like get these questions and stuff.
Yeah, I love like I think if you put work into like an album cover like that, like JR, like you said with the color schemes, he does that. If you're gonna put work into making that type of album cover, somebody should at least recognize it because I think that's the first thing people notice before they will really even hear a song off of an album.
I appreciate it, man. So I actually well, I guess I'll talk about it first. One thing I really wanted to do with this, this album was kind of have a little bit of a retro feel to it.
Okay.
So for that reason, I bought a couple of vinyls and I bought like a bunch of CDs. I still have like probably 60 just sitting in my dorm room. So yeah, this is the album cover. You're probably not going to be able to
Awesome.
see it.
Yep, no, I can see. I got you.
Yeah, so basically this is a picture. I've flipped it upside down. This is downtown Milford, where I'm from.
Okay.
I'll turn my brightness up. So yeah, that's my hometown. That's like the Milford Green.
Nice.
And so basically the album cover is kind of a metaphor for I'm flipping my world upside down a little bit and I'm taking a little bit of a risk by embarking on a new journey, which is these cars. We don't really get a sense where they're headed, but they're headed towards some light, which is the sunset.
Yep.
And yeah, it's a little bit of a metaphor for just kind of like taking that step. And like I don't know where this is going really. I'm 21 years old. I'm going to be a senior in college. I'm majoring in healthcare and all that. But I think it could be going towards something good, which is why there's the light. And just a shout out to Nate Motto, one of my buddies. He helped pretty much design this cover. Yeah, and then on the back we just have the track list. Um,
That's awesome.
just classic black with some white font. But yeah, no, that's a little bit about the album cover.
Now you said you're a vinyl guy, right?
I am a vinyl guy. Yeah, if you look over here, we have some my buddy on the wall. I could even grab it if you want, but yeah.
What's your favorite one that you have? Because my buddy Brett, he produces the podcast. He every week he goes out, he'll try to find new ones. Like he's got old Wu Tang ones, he's got Kendrick ones, Joey Badass, stuff like that. So like what's your grail of a vinyl that you have?
My grail of a vinyl. Well, I never really used to be a vinyl guy, but
Yep.
my roommate Kyle, he's a huge vinyl guy. And my grandma actually we were helping clean her basement and she had a bunch of old vinyls down there. So
Really?
Elvis, yeah, oh yeah, like Jimi Hendrix, just a bunch of stuff like that. So I've just been spinning stuff like that. Just on my buddy's vinyl. He's got what do we have? Some Mac Miller, Tyler the Creator, Section 80, Kendrick Lamar, Good Kid, Mad City.
Yep.
So just some stuff like that. But yeah, I just love the feel of vinyls. I like the idea of a retro kind of concept. But
Now you said you got the Mac Miller vinyls. I have a feeling you are a Mac Miller fan because you've got the song on the album. I miss Mac Miller. So talk a
I
little bit
am.
about that. I'm guessing that's probably like one of your inspirations for music. Maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, if you're gonna name a song after him, I'm guessing
Mhm.
that he's got to have some type of inspiration on you.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, Mac's definitely up there. That song kind of came, so I think I was just in my car just playing that beat. And I was kind of like, na 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 Miss Mac Mill, and that kind of just came off the tongue nice.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, but no, I'm definitely a big Mac fan. My favorite, I really love the weekends, and
yeah.
just the whole Good AM. I mean, and obviously older Mac too, but yeah, dude, that song was pretty cool because it came together. My buddy, me and Danny had a verse on that, and he absolutely killed it. So shout out to him if he's listening, Danny Arrow. He also
Yeah, I
does
was
some
gonna ask, at what point did you know like you wanted to get Danny on that track? Like at what point did you know he was gonna fit in? Was that like when you first were kind of in the car, or was it you had the song kind of done? And you were like, I think Danny would fit in good here.
So yeah, I had my verse and a hook written. And then I had heard of this kid, Danny, and I had played some of his tracks, and he goes to UConn. But I didn't know the guy at all. So I just remember I DM'd him on Instagram and I was like, hey man, like I think I have a few songs that you sound really good on. And yeah, he was nice enough to hit me back, and we became friends that way. And he wrote a verse, and obviously he killed it. So yeah, no, I like the way it came out. That wasn't the first song we did though. We did a few. We did a song called 203. It probably won't get released. We did a song called Toxic. It's some more like banger type
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, so it was cool to see him like, kind of slow it down a little bit. And yeah.
So Mac Miller, obviously. Well, or so. Did you listen? I'm assuming you are. If you're a big fan, listen to his freshman cipher because I think he's probably got one of the best verses in freshman cipher history. And that's one of my favorite ones of all time too. Is the one he's on just because of his verse.
He does, bro. Dude, in my opinion, they don't do it like that anymore. Like the new ones are good, but just back in the day, and even like Kendrick, like the control verse and all that stuff, it just kind of takes me back.
That one was awesome
Um,
because like Mac Miller felt like the alpha because he spit for like a minute and a half on there. And
for
everybody else
sure.
was like 45 to 30 seconds, but he just like took over. It was awesome.
Yeah, no, dude, he definitely killed that. If we're talking like just off the top of my head of like, my favorite artists of influence and stuff, definitely Drake. Drake's my favorite artist. Kanye, even like indie music like Car Seat Headrest, my buddy
Okay.
Max put me onto a lot of that. Um, Party Next Door, Felly, shout out Felly, if anyone, Connecticut people know Felly here. Um, no, but yeah, I mean Mac Miller's definitely up there. So
Now you're a Connecticut guy. You're a 203 guy. I'm an 860 guy. So
gotcha.
little rivalry there, but I mean it's so you're down in that New Haven area. Like you mentioned Sally's before. Would you, if you had to power rank
Right.
the big three, Frank Pepe's, Modern, and Sally's, where how are you shaking that up?
I have to put Sally's number one,
Okay.
Pepe's two, Modern number three. And then
Now,
Ernie's is good too. Not many people know about Ernie's, but
do you
yeah.
think Frank Pepe's gets ranked higher by people because there's more of them around the state versus like Sally's? There's only one, I'm pretty sure, and then same with Modern. Like those two aren't going to get ranked as high by people outside of
I
New Haven or that haven't been down to the originals down there.
I do. I think you know a decent amount about Connecticut pizza,
Oh,
for not being
absolutely,
here from here. Yeah. um
absolutely.
yeah, that's a good point actually, now that I think about it. Because there's one where? There's one in
There's one near me. I'm up in Enfield, so there's one in Manchester,
okay.
and then there's one out in like Waterbury too. I'm pretty sure. So like it spreads across the state.
Right. Right. I think yeah, they have like seven of them. Yeah, no, I love pizza in New Haven. I'm from Milford, if you didn't know,
Yeah,
but yeah.
Now, you went to Notre Dame West Haven, it's a private Catholic school.
Right.
Why did you go there instead of like one of the high schools in Milford? Because it's Jonathan Law is in Milford and Foran.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So what would you have been a
Right.
Foran or a Law kid?
So I would have been a law kid. Yep.
Okay.
And it honestly just kind of happened that way. Like, I was just looking at high schools. I just really love Notre Dame. And yeah, I never really meant, to go to a private Catholic school or anything. Like I
Yeah.
went to public school my whole life. I go to UConn now. Yeah, but no, I mean, I love Notre Dame. Those are my brothers for life. So just kind of happened that way. But I'm glad it did. So I met a lot of cool people.
Did you play any sports while you were there?
So I played soccer and golf when I was there. Yep.
Oh, you were on the golf team. That's awesome.
Yep. Yes, sir. I was.
No, now are you good at golf, or are you on the golf team to be with your friends and like hang out? Because I think that's if I had joined the golf team, that's the situation I would have been. And I'm not great at golf, so it would have been kind of just hanging out and being able to maybe hit a good shot or two.
Yeah, no, dude, the golf team's always pretty interesting because you got like hockey kids and stuff. But
Yeah.
I mean, I was decent. I was all right. There's definitely better kids, but I was like captain my senior year, which was fun. Yeah, no, I mean, I played golf my whole life, and I tried out for the baseball team. Fortunately, didn't make it. So then I started just going more serious with golf. But
It's all right. It always works out.
yeah.
Now, before we move off the topic of like the southern part of the state and like food down there, do you have any hidden gem places down that area?
Hidden gem places in that area. Gigi's in Milford, right down the street from
Okay.
my house, has a good pizza. You probably know Colony Pizza.
Yep.
You heard of it? Hidden spots. I gotta think about that because I feel like it's definitely some around. Ernie's Pizza is in. I think technically it's in East Haven, but I think it might be just as good as Modern.
Okay.
We're just talking pizza, but trying to think.
I'll let you. Hey, if you can
Yeah,
think
yeah,
about it,
yeah.
we'll move on. If you think of anything, just bring it up. But
For sure.
going back to the album a little bit. Late nights and cheap mics. How'd you come up with the name? Was that just kind of like how you came up, just like rapping? And I'm assuming like just rapping in cars and not having like the greatest equipment, maybe, or
Yeah, dude, no, that's really all it's about. So just late nights and cheap mics, like, obviously not having, the greatest equipment, and then just late nights, just I wanted it to be an album that just people could put on in their car, just, driving around at night, just listen to. Because that's really when I wrote it, it was just coming home, thinking of ideas.
mm-hmm.
I'm always in my car just rapping or, doing whatever. But yeah, I had like a list of notes on my phone, just of all kinds of album ideas and stuff, and like
Yeah.
album names. And I think Late Nights and Cheap Mics, I've had that for a few years, way before I ever even thought about making it. Yeah, and I think it just kind of came together. It's pretty interesting too, because like you didn't ask this, but so my name, like Tre Breezy, I
Mm-hmm.
guess, or my alias now, actually came from you ever play like 2K My Player?
Yeah.
Yeah, like 2K 14, 15, 16. That's always what I would name like my character and stuff. Um
Okay. I
so,
like
so
that. I like that.
yeah, dude. So when it came time to pick a name, I was like, we'll see.
I was gonna get to. I'm
Yeah.
always curious as to like when rappers come up with names because like I like Tre Breezy, but you come across some that are just very anybody that uses like Lil as like the first one, and
Right.
I'm not a huge fan of it. But I like Tre Breezy, and especially I love the backstory on that. How it's not like you were trying to like be wicked cool or like I say
No,
creative,
dude.
but it was something that you grew up doing. Like that's a name that you've kind of had in your pocket the whole time.
Yeah, dude. And well, I'm also the third,
Yeah.
that's my name, Robert Ludwig the third. So there's the whole like three thing, but dude, honestly, I've thought about changing it sometimes. I feel like it sounds a little bit like I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I don't love it, but we're rocking with it for right now.
Well, do you have any idea? Like, do you have any notes like what you would change it to? Like any I know you maybe don't want to give anything away too much, but any ideas in the tank?
Dude, sometimes I'm thinking about just dropping the breezy and just going with Trey,
Trey,
but
I like that. I like that. No, would you keep the third or would it just be Trey?
probably just Trey.
I like that. I mean,
Um,
it's one word too. The one word ones are always good.
right. Yeah, you got like Madonna, Drake, Rihanna, Trey,
Yeah, the Mount Rushmore of the one names right there.
Of course. Yeah, but no, for now, I think it would be kind of tough to like, change it now, but yeah, that's a little bit of the story of where it came from.
Now, the song Katie Lou, did she ever hear it? Like, was there any acknowledgement between you and Katie Lou at the time?
Um, yeah, so that song, I kind of just made that for fun and just felt like UConn needed a hype track, and I'm a huge Katie Lou fan, obviously. I met her at the bar when I was a freshman. I remember I told her, I was like, I'm gonna make a song about you one day. She was like, yeah, okay. Like she, some random kid.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, so I ended up like DMing her on Instagram and stuff. And then she never replied, but her mom would reply to me. So her
really.
like yeah, her mom would reply to me. And then the WNBA team that she
She's not
played, she
Chicago,
doesn't
right?
play. She was, I think she plays in Europe now,
Okay,
with her sister Carly. But yeah, no, she basically so they used my song in a video for like her birthday, like happy birthday Katie. It's just like highlights with, Katie Lou playing in the background.
that's
Um
awesome.
yeah, no, but I remember like I got all my boys to comment on the post like tag him because they didn't, they didn't give me
Oh, they
any
didn't
credit.
credit you on it.
Yeah, dude. So I remember
Oh,
someone from their HR department, they like reached out to me and they were like, "We're so sorry, we'll tag you." And I was like, "All right, word." But as of right now, she just followed me on Instagram a few months ago, which was just hype.
that's awesome.
Um
Yeah,
and I want to mail her like an album or something, but so I texted or didn't text, I DM'd her mom, because she's in Europe now, but if I could like send one to her house or something. So we'll see if she replies. But yeah, no, I mean, I would love to like meet, and actually meet Katie. I DM'd her like, hey, be in a music video with me, and she never replied, but
that would be cool. Even especially the song came out in 2 years ago in 19. Even if you got the music
right,
video now and you were able to get her in it, like that would be pretty sick.
dude, that'd be so hype. I'd love that.
Did now I like in music when people add in different clips. And I like how you added her getting drafted in it, like the number one pick in the WNBA
Hmm.
draft. I loved hearing that with like the beat kind of in the background. That's my favorite when music does that. So is that like a consistent thing for you that you like to do? Is intersplice clips like that?
Dude, totally. So yeah, kind of started with Katie Lou. And with late nights and cheap mics, I just kind of wanted all the album to be about, being a kid, being a college kid growing up, memories and just childhood vibes. So
Hmm.
what I did was I went on my Snapchat and I just, like the memories thing in your Snapchat,
Yeah.
like memories. I would just scroll through all my favorite ones from like the last 5 years and I just played them into the mic. Like I picked out a couple of them. So yeah, I
Oh,
just
that's cool. I like that.
just kind of scattered them on the album.
Now I think the snap memories are the worst, especially like the ones from 5 years ago. Like seeing what do you ever like get that cringe moment from like 5 years ago looking at yourself from that? Because I get that sometimes. It sucks. Like back in when I was like a sophomore or a freshman in high school.
Oh, dude, no question. Yeah, no, it was fun going through everything and picking some stuff out. There's one on I don't know if you know the song why can't I think of it? Oh my goodness, Phone Call Home.
Mhm.
Um, it's my buddy Liam and my buddy Nick, and we were 14 years old, and I remember we recorded it, and he said, "Hi, my name is Nick Lombardo, and I'm 14 years old, and I want to see what my voice sounds like when I was 14." And then I ended up throwing that at the beginning of the album.
That's awesome.
Like,
I like that. That's cool.
yeah,
Um, Now the very first song you did was Late Night Lexi. We talked about that a little bit before.
yo,
The cover art for it I think is funny because it looks like you put it together in 2015. Like I've noticed how much better everything's gotten. And
exactly.
it's the trophy, the like, and then the picture of the girl.
Yeah,
Were you just trying to like slap something together on
yeah. No,
just
I
like a
made
picture
that.
on a computer or something?
Yeah, I made that on like Google Drive or Google Slides in like 10 minutes. But I think the next song I made was I kind of made them at the same time, but I dropped it later. It was called All the Way,
Mhm.
and that was probably like my first, real singing song, like, type thing. And that cover was just like a bunch of like screenshots of like camera roll pictures and just kind of put them together. But
No,
just working with what I got, you know.
I like the Utopia one, the because it's got like all the plants and different
Dude, thank
colors and
you.
stuff like that. I think that one's pretty cool because that one also catches the eye too, and it's got the I always think like the old television screen when your TV would kind of like go
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Got the on the side of it, all the color like the color blocks. Which is
Dude,
pretty
thank you,
dope.
bro. Not many people know about those songs, bro. Like, I appreciate it.
No, it's awesome. Like I said before, the cover art I love looking at and kind of getting the intricate details about stuff like that. Just because, like I said, if people are gonna put work into it, it should get noticed.
Dude, I respect it, bro. Thank you so much. Yeah, no, that song's another one. I made that one, I think freshman year of college. So you can kind of see the progression of things, you know, as time goes on, you know, to where we are now. But yeah, dude, no, thank you for knowing that song. Not many people even, you know, have heard that, so that's dope.
No problem, man. No, what working with UConn, it seems like, because honestly, I found JR through. I'm a big fan of like the rappers from Maine, like that whole music scene.
Right.
And JR was on a song with Spose, and that's how I first found him. Or Spose was on one of JR's songs, and after I find JR, you kind of open up a different can of worms with the people he works with from UConn.
Right.
What's that like? Because once you peel back the curtain, there's seems like a ton of talented people. Like you even mentioned Eric Wang. He's a photographer that works with like I
Right.
always see JR tagging him and doing all his stuff. So it seems like just a bunch of wicked talented people that are working together there.
Dude, we really do. I humbly think UConn has such a slept on like underground music scene here. Um, you know, Kids That Fly. I don't know if you've heard of Kids That Fly, but they're a rock band out of UConn, and they're kind of just like the biggest group from UConn, but absolutely amazing stuff. Obviously you got JR, my buddy Amor Patet, Aiden Patterson. He makes some
Right.
awesome music. Danny, there's Danny. Um, Even people like Grace. I don't know if you've heard the song Basically. So Grace Lawton, she was in the chorus group here, and they're just hitting her up for a feature, and she just absolutely killed it. Nick Rose is another one. Nick Rose is absolutely fire. My buddy Gustavo, he makes music under the name Charter Ghost.
Okay.
More like indie rock music, and yeah, there's just such a variety of talent. You know, there's rappers, there's rockers, there's kids that produce, there's kids that mix, and
No,
uh,
how nice is that to have that little pond of people that you can kind of pick and choose. Like you said, you've got Grace. Like if you think like a female's voice on a song will be like will
right.
fit perfect, or if you want to go that indie route, or if you want to go that rock route, or if you just want another rapper that's gonna spit bars. How nice is it having that whole little community?
It's awesome, bro. It really is. And honestly, it's a lot in thanks to two people. So JR and Jacob Stockman, who
Okay.
we have a little, I don't know if I'd call it a student record label, but it's a basically just a club of kids at UConn that are musically inclined and you know just want to get involved in the scene in any way. It's called UEG, UConn Entertainment Group. And Jacob and JR started that their freshman year, and you know that's really where you know the most networking happens. You know, kids get to know each other. So yeah, I mean, thank you for them for starting it, but yeah, no, it's just awesome having you know so many kids that do so many different things. So it's been awesome.
Now, is what's the community like? I mean, like you obviously have your guys that you work with. Outside of that, is it? Do you feel even like artists you may not even work with, but you know of? Is it a like a welcoming? Is it cutthroat? Like how does it feel with guys that you may not even work with? Because I can imagine like 22-year-old kids trying to make it. Yeah,
Mhm.
I can't imagine it's always kid gloves.
I mean, I think it's a little bit about like who you are as a person. Like personally, like
Yeah.
you know I don't have any problems with anyone. Like you know I think for the most part everyone supports each other and you know respects what each other's doing. And you know if I were to DM anyone you know in the area for a feature for this or that, like you know everyone you know is nice enough to reply. And
Mhm.
you know so I'd say it's a really good community. You know everyone gets along and stuff,
Yeah.
and you know posting stuff on stories, you just you know supporting releases and you know all that. But
Now, do you work with anybody down in your area of the state, that southern area? Because it, like again, there's a lot of talented people. You look in the New Haven area, and just along that whole coast, there's a lot of talented people down there. So have you worked with people down your neck of the woods?
So not so much, but I should probably give a shout out to my buddy Ryan Luth from high school, still my boy today. He makes music under That Kid Ryan. He's
Mhm.
on the second half of The Fall. He has that verse right there. And yeah, that's where it started, just in his basement. He has a recording set up there, and that's where I recorded first, like Lexi. It's where I recorded All the Way, and stuff like that. So when I'm in Milford, like if I need a kid to just drive around and rap in the car, go record something, or that's my guy. So, but yeah, no, Milford Circle is pretty small with music. I'm definitely open to, like, I look forward to meeting more people the more I
Mhm.
become involved in it. But yeah.
No, I gotcha. So you said you're a healthcare major.
Yep.
This is obviously probably crazy times for you, especially you're seeing what you could be on the front lines for eventually. But how are you like when you graduate? I know you still have another year. Um, what's your thoughts? I know you still have a year. I kind of throwing this question at you, but
No, no,
like
you're good, bro.
like you're gonna have a maybe go in the career of healthcare or stick to music, try to do both. What would the plan be now if you were graduating?
So right now I'm pre-PA, so physician assistant.
Okay.
And I work as a personal care assistant for a patient with cerebral palsy,
Okay.
and another patient with multiple sclerosis. So, that's just I'm getting my patient care hours up, because if you want to apply to grad school, you have to have enough patient care hours and all that. So yeah, no, I'm definitely like gonna keep doing that, and definitely still make music, and kind of whatever happens happens. Like, if the music thing was to ever get to a point where I could make money off of it, or do it for real, I'd in a heartbeat do it, because
Yeah.
I really think it's what my passion is. But um yeah, no, right now I think I'm in a good lane to where, like, academically I'm doing my thing, but musically I'm not gonna don't have any plans to stop. So
Nice. Now, uh, just have you seen guys that have graduated and kind of that were talented and maybe just gave up on music that you've seen through UConn? Just because like they get into a career field, like they may say they're gonna keep trying to do music and then
mhm.
life happens. Like as the many people will say, just kind of takes over and music kind of gets brushed aside.
I mean, I'm still pretty young, so I don't really know that many older kids. Like,
Mhm.
we'll see what happens with JR, but he's only a year older, and he has like the brightest future out of anyone I know. So, as far as like kids who have that as an example, but hey man, like anything can happen, and like you said, like life hits you sometimes. But I mean, I'm at the very least, I'll always do music as a hobby. Like I'll always, but there's there's no problem with thinking big and stuff. So
Yeah, absolutely.
we're gonna see what happens. Yeah.
No, what's I know you put out the album this year. Ron Red Solo Funk. What else could should the Tre Breezy fans be expecting for the rest of the year?
So the most exciting thing is actually, this is just we actually finalized the plans today, but this Saturday we're gonna be doing a basement show at JR's house. So all the UConn people will get some heads there, and that's gonna be my first time like really performing in front of a crowd. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, but no, this summer I want to get a job in healthcare, and get my own setup, and just get back in the basement. And I've been writing an album, like more of a rap album, more of a kind
Mhm.
of a trap melody album. So that'll be hopefully this summer that'll drop. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm always writing, I'm always thinking of stuff, like, definitely got a few tricks up the sleeve, so we'll see what happens.
I like that. Uh, Trey, I appreciate you coming on. One more question I like to ask people. I know you're a retired athlete right now, but I love whenever we get an athlete on or somebody who's done playing. What were your three? Like you got three songs to listen to before a soccer game. What were the three at the time that you would listen to?
Okay, I gotta think about this. At the time, so that would have been high school.
Yup.
I remember. Do you remember the Beats Music app?
Yes.
Yes, because I remember before I even had a Spotify account, I would get the Beats Music app, do a free trial, and then
Hmm.
like renew it. And I remember I would play 0 to 100 by Drake.
Okay.
Just getting amped up. Um, Anything from Graduation, Kanye, Can't Tell Me Nothing.
All right.
Probably my favorite song. One more. There's a lot of them. Good Kid, Mad City. I mean, I would just bump that album before games and stuff, just getting hype. Even like Rodeo, Travis Scott, and
Oh, that's a
Days
good
Before
one. Yeah.
Rodeo. Yeah, dude. No, I feel lucky. My buddy Ryan, he showed me Travis Scott like before he kind of blew up, and he was like, "Dude, you gotta check this guy out." And I remember "Oh My Diss Side." I really like that song. Um, yes, those are probably few of the gems in there.
That you can't go wrong with that, especially those were all like rodeo was a huge one at the time too. Like that
Oh yeah,
around like what you graduated in what 18?
I graduated in 18. Yep.
So yeah, around that time it was huge, which is but yeah, that's awesome. I love just wondering what guys would listen to before games and stuff because it varies a lot. Like you'll get guys that listen to rock and like wicked heavy metal, and then a lot of
Right.
guys listen to Drake, Kanye, stuff like that. I like that though.
What would your three be?
My three right now, I'd go. Ooh, I haven't been asked. I haven't been countered yet.
Right back at you.
I'd go uh Bullet with Butterfly Wings, Smashing Pumpkins, um
Love it.
Enter Sandman, Metallica, and then
Yep. Yep.
ooh, probably I'd go it's a cliche one, but Till I Collapse by Eminem. Like those are three that just
Mhm.
like you just when you're listening to them, you just get like fired up, I feel like.
Nah, for sure, bro.
You can just kind of like lock in for those. I love those. I thank you for countering. I haven't been, so you put me on the spot there, but I like that.
Dude, you know what that reminds me of? Mariano Rivera, every time he came into close, they would play Enter Sandman. That
Oh
was
yeah, that was classic because
yeah, dude.
it was every time you heard it, you knew like the game was gonna be over too, which was awesome.
Dude, as a Red Sox fan, there's nothing more frustrating, but
No,
you gotta appreciate greatness. So
no, you say you're a Sox fan. You've been watching a little bit this year. I know you're probably busy with school and music and stuff, but
yeah, a little bit here and there. Honestly, yeah, dude, I used to be able to name like the whole roster, and now I
it's
probably
tough now because they gutted it. Like no Mookie,
I
no
know, dude.
Benintendi, no JBJ. Like all those guys are gone. But like the big name now is like still I think Xander's probably the biggest name or Delback.
Probably Xander. Bobby Dalbeck's been having a good season. JD's been hitting again. I don't know what happened to him last year, but
Verdugo's been good too.
yeah, no, we need pitching. We need pitching, but I
Once
don't. Yeah,
Sale's
dude,
back, we should be in good shape.
are they doing good? I don't even really know like what their record is or
I
anything.
think they have one of the best. I don't know if it's best records in baseball, but like they got swept the very first series of the year, and then like
Yeah,
just turned it on. It was crazy because I thought it was just gonna be another dismal year, but it looks like it could be a good one. I don't know.
are you a Sox fan?
I am, yeah.
Word, word.
It was tough to follow last year, especially with all like the COVID stuff. You didn't really know when they were starting back up, but this year, with it being a normal year, it's gonna be easier to follow it.
So you like Celtics, Patriots, like that whole thing?
I'm a Celtics, Sox, Bruins, and I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan because Adrian Peterson was my favorite
Okay,
player growing up. Like that was the first jersey I ever had, so I'm a
got
diehard Vikings fan. That's my team right there.
got you. That's what's up.
Now, are you a big four New England guy?
Pretty much. I don't really do hockey. I
Mhm.
mean basketball. I kind of just more like players, from around the league. But
Yeah, yeah.
if I had to pick a team, yeah, Celtics.
Now,
Sox.
who's your favorite player around the league right now? Like maybe like not a non-Celtic.
Right now, dude, probably Devin Booker. Probably Devin Booker.
That's a good pick.
It used to be Nick Young, Swaggy P. Loved Nick Young. Just thought
I
he
like
was,
that pick.
yeah, probably Book. I like Book's energy. Good shooter, but
He'll be winning MVP in the next 2 or 3 years. He's unreal.
I hope, dude. He's slept on too. Like he hasn't been, the Suns are winning, I think, though, right? I think the
Yeah,
Suns are
they're
good.
good. I think they're pretty good. They're like one of the top teams in the West, which is weird because they're usually that always in the lottery, even though they've got Aiton and Booker
Yeah,
who
no,
are
facts.
studs.
Facts. I think the Lakers are even behind them, but
Lakers will turn it on. LeBron will be LeBron, and come playoff time, it won't really matter where they're seated.
Yeah, true.
But Trey, where can everybody find you on social media?
So I'm at social media on Instagram at Tre Breezy. So unfortunately, Tre Breezy was taken. So Tre Breezy with an E. Yeah, and then just if you're looking at something to listen to in the car, just throw on like nice and cheap mics. And yeah, dude, I appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely, definitely. When you got new music coming out, DM me, or if I see you post it, I'll reach back out. Definitely want to get you back on. I love talking to just guys, especially like JR was a great guest. We've had him on before, so anybody that's a friend of JR's, you were a great guest. So absolutely get you back on anytime.
Thank you, dude. I really appreciate it, bro. And thank you for doing this too, and finding me, and any little bit helps. But thank you, bro.
No problem, man. Thank you guys for listening to this episode of the My Parents Office podcast. Stay tuned for more episodes and content we're going to be bringing to you. Thank you.